Hello guys, welcome to the movie recap review. Happy watching.
The day I killed him.
She's tied up inside, so she's not going anywhere.
Eli, Iris.
Evening, ma'am.
Guten Abend.
The movie starts with a girl, Iris, shopping for household supplies at a supermarket. She exchanges smiles with a boy, Josh, and they seem to fall in love at first sight. When Josh tries to talk to her, he accidentally knocks over a stack of oranges. He tries to catch one but fails, making Iris laugh. Josh laughs too, then introduces himself, and Iris does the same. Later, Josh is driving with Iris asleep beside him. She wakes up and tells him she had a beautiful dream. Josh playfully guesses she was dreaming about him, and Iris confirms it, reminiscing about the day they met. Josh remembers every detail, including the orange incident. Following the GPS, they arrive at a house deep in the forest, expecting a small cabin but finding a large home instead. Iris seems uneasy, but Josh reassures her. They knock, and Kate opens the door, greeting them with forced politeness. It's clear her relationship with Iris is strained. Inside, Kate introduces Josh to Sergey, the house owner. In the evening, everyone gathers and shares how they met their partners. Patrick tells how he met Eli. At a party, he didn't know anyone and suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder. He turned around and saw a person in a green dinosaur costume who told him he was stepping on its tail. Patrick looked down, realized it was true, and quickly moved. Then the dinosaur took off its head, revealing Eli, the most beautiful man Patrick had ever seen. Later, Iris talks about love, saying that when you meet someone for the first time and they feel like a stranger, you'll do anything to make them happy. Later, as music plays, everyone dances and enjoys the night. The next morning, Iris asks Josh if he's ready to go to the lake, but he says he needs a shower. She suggests going together, but he insists she go ahead. Alone at the lake, Iris senses movement behind her. She turns to see Sergey and quickly hides a fan knife she was carrying. When she tries to leave, Sergey asks her to stay. He asks her to apply sunscreen to his back, claiming he can't reach. She hesitates but agrees. Suddenly, Sergey grabs her hand and tries to assault her, mentioning Kate. Iris struggles and screams, but he doesn't stop. Later, she returns to the house with torn clothes, blood on her face, and a knife in her hand. Everyone is shocked as she explains what happened, how Sergey attacked her, how she fought back, hitting him with a bottle. When he tried again, she stabbed him in the neck, killing him. Shaken, Iris says that all she could think about was how, if she died, she'd never see Josh again, because she loves him so much. Josh tells Iris to sleep, and she immediately shuts down like a robot. He ties her to a chair and discusses the situation with his friends. They decide to report the incident to the police. He explains that what happened to her was a technical malfunction. Before they call the police, Josh asks for a moment alone with Iris. He wakes her up, and she looks frightened. When she realizes her hands are tied, she asks why. Josh tells her that she killed Sergey. Iris insists it was self-defense, but Josh reveals the truth. She isn't human. She's a robot created for companionship, and all her memories of school and work were just programming. Iris refuses to believe him, especially since her memories with Josh feel real. But Josh confirms that their entire relationship was an illusion. He tells her that the first time he saw her was when the company delivered her to him, saying she was designed to meet all his needs. Iris insists she feels emotions like anger and hunger, but Josh explains that those were just part of her programming. Iris begs him to forget everything and go back to how things were. Josh apologizes, saying he can't. Kate enters and orders Josh to turn her off. Terrified, Iris starts crying. Josh takes her outside to talk, but while they're distracted, Iris spots a knife on the ground. She quickly grabs it and frees herself. When Josh approaches, she hits him in the face, takes his phone, apologizes, and runs into the forest. Josh regroups with his friends, explaining that he modified Iris's programming, making her more aggressive and capable of self-defense. Before he could reset her, she escaped. If the company finds out what he did, he'll be in serious trouble. His friends agree to help find her before the company does. Later, Iris sneaks into Sergey's bedroom and opens his safe, revealing $12 million. It turns out that Josh and Iris had planned everything from the start. Their goal was to make Sergey's death look like an accident and steal his money. Josh tells his friends they'll split the money equally, but when Eli reminds him there are 4 of them, Josh says Patrick is just a robot too. Eli quickly disconnects Patrick so he won't hear this. They agree to search for Iris together, and Eli reactivates Patrick. Meanwhile, Iris, hiding in the forest, hacks into Josh's phone and changes her settings. She alters her eye color, voice tone, and removes Josh's control over her entirely. Josh and his friends split into 2 search groups. Meanwhile, Iris decides to steal Josh's car by controlling it through his phone. As she sneaks away, she runs into Eli and Patrick. She hides, but Josh's phone rings, revealing her location. Eli pulls out a gun and chases her. Eli tackles Iris, pinning her down. She struggles, grabs the gun, and shoots him, killing him. Josh and Patrick arrive, but Iris jumps into Josh's car and uses the phone to start it, speeding toward the city. Before she gets far, the car suddenly stops. Josh reported it stolen. Trapped inside, Iris can't escape. Meanwhile, Josh resets Patrick, erasing his memories. He orders him to retrieve Iris and his phone. Iris breaks the car window and escapes. She sees a police car behind her, and an officer steps out, asking her name and where she's from. When she mentions Sergey's house, the officer offers to take her back, but she refuses. The officer notices blood on a knife inside the car, pulls out his gun, and ties her hands. Before he can act, Patrick arrives, kills the officer, and takes Iris and Josh's phone back to Josh. Later, Josh and Kat arrive in the officer's car. When Josh asks about the officer, Patrick tells him he's inside. They check and find the body, shocking Kat. Kat goes into Sergey's room, fills a bag with money, and decides to leave Josh. He begs her to stay, but she ignores him. Josh orders Patrick to stop her, and Patrick stabs her in the back, killing her. Shocked, Josh yells at Patrick, but Patrick simply says, "You told me to stop her." Later, Josh and Iris sit at a candlelit table, with Iris tied to the chair. Josh wakes her up, and she immediately curses at him. He blames her for his friends' deaths, but she argues that he used her to kill Sergey and steal his money. Josh asks how she knows, and she reveals that she overheard Patrick and Eli talking in the forest. Enraged, he changes her programming, forcing her to obey him completely. He orders her to extend her hands and feet. She does. He moves a candle under her hands, and the flames burn her. She screams in pain, but can't move. When her hands are completely burned, he orders Patrick to put out the fire, and Patrick does. Next, he tells Patrick to place the gun near Iris's hand and commands her to pick it up. She does. He commands her to point it at her head and pull the trigger. She does, and dies. Josh calls the manufacturing company, claiming that Iris killed his friends and Sergey. Patrick supports his story, and the workers don't realize Patrick is also a robot because his model is outdated. The workers prepare to retrieve footage from Iris's memory, but Josh claims her brain is destroyed. They inform him that her storage unit is actually in her abdomen, which is still intact. They load her into their car and drive off. While on the road, they spot Patrick standing in their path and realize he's also a robot. Patrick pulls out a gun, shoots one worker, and fires at the other, who runs into the forest. Patrick chases him, continuing to shoot, then starts strangling him. Meanwhile, Iris wakes up and follows Patrick's voice. She reminds him of Eli and their bond. Patrick suddenly remembers everything and, overcome with guilt, shoots himself. Iris returns to Josh, pointing a gun at him, but he smirks, knowing she can't harm him. He grabs the gun and beats her mercilessly. She tries to fight back, but he's stronger. Desperate, Iris grabs a corkscrew and drives it into Josh's head, killing him. Finally, she takes a shower, collects all the money, and walks away.
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.